Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
Hey you guys, it's Naimahrae and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay lit over here, you feels me. And if you're a returning viewer, hey, how you guys doing on this lovely day? I'm great. My eyes is a little swollen because of pollen, but you know, we good, we Gucci. As you guys can tell by the title of this video, I am doing another mini story time. I have one up on my channel titled 4 awkward job moments. Don't remember how many it was, but I'll link it up there and in the description box in case you guys haven't seen it. I'm not really sure if you guys liked the mini story times from me or not, so I was like, I'm gonna just do another one and see if they like it or not, because you know, who knows, maybe it was like the YouTube algorithm or like something like that, you feel me? This one is going to be about my top 3 scariest moments. It was gonna be 4, but I did a video on one of them and it was more funny rather than scary, but like at the time it was scary. But I'll link it up there and in the description box down below so you guys can watch it. And yeah, I think I covered everything, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I got my handy dandy notebook right here with my ideas on it, you feels me? Yeah, we just gonna go ahead and get into the video. So story number 1. Now this one honestly is not funny, but like it kind of is, but it's kind of not, because like people really could have got hurt if it would have went wrong. Anyways, so I was at my house. This was before I moved into my apartment, and actually this was this past summer. So I was at my house, you know, minding my business, doing what I usually do, just chilling or whatever, and my mom is like, Neem, come here, I want you to see something. And she's like sitting like at the front window of our house. Now our house like faces out to like see like obviously other houses because it's in a neighborhood. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming. So I come, and y'all, we're both looking out the window, and when I tell you, my neighbor across the street from us, their tire or like their van or something, I think it was a van, yeah, their van had caught on fire. Okay, don't know how it caught on fire. Nobody was outside at that house. Our neighbors like across the street from us was outside looking at it, like, and like somebody who was walking and like I guess in the neighborhood, he had stopped and he was looking at it too, and so everybody was like looking at it, and the van was just burning. Like, and when I say it was like on fire, I don't mean like a little baby fire, I mean like it was like flames, y'all. It was like it was like kind of a lot, and it had kind of started, I think it had started in the front of the van. Like it had caught on fire in the front, so like where the engine and stuff is at, but like they always had a lot of cars in the driveway, so it was like really close to another car, like the back of another car. And the problem with that was, y'all know fire and gas don't mix, okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, Mom, I think we should get away from the window. And my mom's like, no, and da-da-da-da. Like she was not trying to move. And I'm just like, Mom, I think we should get away from the window because what if it blows up? I was like, somebody need to move that car, because they don't move that car, our car gonna blow up, they car gonna blow up, them gonna blow up, they gonna blow up, the house might blow up. Shoot, I don't know what's gonna blow up, but I just feel like it's not gonna be good, you know, because I watch a lot of TV, okay, and I know how explosions work. They big, okay, they're not small, they're not contained, they go. So I just felt like, I was like, Mom, I don't think this is safe. Like, I think that we should get away from the window. And she was like, no, look, here he comes to move the car. So the neighbor actually came outside. He was trying to move the car that was near the the fire. Yeah, he was trying to move the car that was near the fire. So he had to climb in through the passenger side so he could move that car, so that way it didn't like blow up or anything. And you guys, look, he a real one for that, because if he didn't move that car, the whole neighborhood would have blew up. Okay, it was bad. It was really bad. So the fire's still going, and I'm just like, you think somebody called the fire department? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody did. Like, oh, there's a bunch of people outside now. So like a bunch of neighbors start moving their cars, and my mom like, here, take the keys and go move the car. And I'm like, okay. So I took the keys and I moved our car down our driveway just in case, because we park at the top of our driveway just in case, you know what I'm saying, guys. And like, y'all, it was just so bad. And luckily, like literally right before the fire truck had got there, the tires started exploding on the van. And at that point I was like, Mom, we need to move from the window, because I don't think this is a good idea. I see this going wrong. Like, I just don't like it. And I actually recorded it. I had some clips from it. I don't know if I still have them because I got a new phone, so I don't know if like they transferred over. But y'all, it was so scary. I thought the house was gonna blow up, or the neighborhood, or like something. I just thought something bad was gonna happen. It felt like it was in a movie. It was not a fun experience. 0 out of 10, don't recommend. needless to say, the fire truck ended up coming and, you know, put out the fire or whatever. We don't know how the fire started to this day. Nobody was hurt, everybody was fine, so that's great. That's how that ended. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it was really scary because I really did think that we was gonna blow up. Story number 2. Okay, this one is slightly a little bit more serious, but not really, but kind of. Actually, this one is really serious. Anyways, I'm going to get into it. So me and my boyfriend at the time, he was bringing me back to school because I had went home for the weekend because I used to work on weekends when I had a job back where I used to live at. So like I had went home and he was bringing me back. Now mind you, it seemed like every single person in my life don't know how to drive. And I'm so sorry if you guys are watching this and you're like, I know how to drive, Naimah. Not all of my friends are the best drivers, okay? And it seems like especially the guys, okay? Except for one. Except for one. So all the guys in my life seem to drive like really, really fast and aggressively. And I'm just like, hey, bro, look, I'm in the car. Slow down. There's no rush. So my ex, we were on the highway and like he's in the fast lane and he's going like 100 plus miles per hour. I don't know. He probably wasn't going that fast, but he was going like super fast. And there was this truck in front of us that was low-key kind of going slow. And he was like, bro, they need to get out the fast lane if they not go drive their car. And I'm like, yeah, they do. Like, we are moving kind of slow to be in the fast lane. And so we saw this other car, like it was like a truck, and it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was like weaving in and out. I don't know why I have a pen in my hand. I'm sorry. It was like weaving in and out. It was like... And you guys know how somebody be switching lanes, but they wouldn't use signals. They was just whoop, 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 whoop. So that's what they was doing. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, they need to slow down. He was like, yeah, they do. But we was going fast too, but like they was on a whole other level. So we're in the car and literally, you guys, out of nowhere, because like, first of all, I told you guys the car in front of us was going kind of slow, right? So we was kind of riding real close behind them, and I know you're not supposed to do that, you know, and this was definitely a lesson learned for me. Like, I know you're not supposed to do that, but we was riding kind of close to them, but out of nowhere they slammed on their brakes like in front of us. And luckily we were both paying attention. I think he was paying attention too, but like, I don't know where he was. I was like, whoa. And he was like, oh. And so like we slammed on our brakes, right? And literally in front of the truck in front of us was that car that had weaved in and out. You guys, it like, I don't know how this even happened. I guess he was trying to change lanes again. Like he had no business doing that. And like he hit the barricade of the highway and his car like flipped. And we just sat there and we was like, and I was like, dude, so like, do we call the police? Like, what do we do? He was like, I think somebody probably already called the police, because it looked like the person that was next to us on this side was calling, and like the truck in front of us still hasn't moved yet, and like people was still like going, like they was driving around. I was like, are we supposed to continue going? Like, because I've never been in a situation like that before. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Y'all, scared the living life out of me. And after that, like, he brought his speed down to a decent speed. We were not riding extra close behind anybody. I think it was definitely a lesson learned for both of us, honestly, because like, he's a little more cautious, I feel like, now when he drives, because of that whole scenario. It was like, oh my gosh, like, if this truck was not in front of us, like, and like we weren't paying attention, we could have had like a huge collision, and it just would have been like really, really bad. I have no clue if the person was okay. I honestly have no clue if they were okay. It looked like something they could have been okay from, honestly. But like, I don't know. I asked him when he was on his way back, like, did they clean it up? Like, is everything okay? He was like, I think the person's okay, but I'm not really sure. So we didn't really stick around to find out. I hope that person is okay and fine and well, but it was just wild. Like, I've never seen anything like that. That was like the second car accident I've ever seen in front of me, but that one was really, really bad. Like, it was like, I've never seen that. He hit the barricade and his car just flipped, and I was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, that was scary moment number 2. It's not fun. You guys, be safe out there when you're driving, okay? I know a lot of people like to get to where they're going, but y'all, please, please, please drive safely. On to story number 3. So, looking back, this one is actually low-key on the funny side, but at the time, I was terrified. So, this was like when I was like, I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 12, 13, 14. Somewhere in that area. I was like a tween teenager, like entering the teenage stages, somewhere like that, right? So my mom had went somewhere, and my house that I had lived in was kind of big, so I didn't like staying there alone. So my cousin would always come over to keep me company. So me and my cousin were there, and we were chilling or whatever. A new episode of Victorious that just came on, you know, we was watching Victorious or whatever, you know, we was playing our little Nintendo games. We was chilling, okay? Now, mind you, it's close to July 4th, but it's not July yet. It's like sometime in June, probably like a couple weeks like before the ending of June. Like it's like the ending of June. We're chilling, and like then we hear something that kind of sound like gunshots, and I was like, hey bro, you heard that? He was like, I think so. So we turned the TV off because like the episode was over, so it was like whatever, and we turned the TV off so we could hear, and I was like, and then we heard it again, and it sounded like gunshots, okay? And I was like, maybe it's just like fireworks or something. He was like, yeah. And so, you know, we're sitting there still playing our game or whatever, but the TV's off now. And so then like we hear it like back to back. It's like boom, 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 boom. And we're like, I was like, maybe we should like turn off the lights or something. Now, why did I think to turn off the lights? I don't know. Like, I have no clue why I was like, yeah, let's turn off the lights. So we turned off the lights. So now we're sitting there in the dark playing our games. Like, we're still, like, not moving. We're just, and, like, we're on the floor, too. Like, we moved to the floor because we were sitting on the couch. And we was like, let's get on the floor just in case. And then, like, we hear it again. And at this point, we're kind of getting a little nervous. Like, I'm starting to get a little scared. I'm like, I don't know, because they sound really close. And I was like, if they was fireworks, we would have seen them by now. Like, we would be able to see them. And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, maybe we should just go down to the basement. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. So we grabbed our pillows and blankets and stuff and our games, and we went down to the basement, and we're thinking like, okay, we're gonna go down there and we'll be fine. Before we went down to the basement, forgot to say this, before we went down to the basement, I actually got so scared to the point where I was like, should I call the police? And he was like, yeah. And I never really had to call the police for that. I didn't know the non-emergency number. So I think I looked it up. Either I looked it up or like I just called like regular 911, and I was like, hi, it sounds like there's gunshots coming from outside, but like not at my house. It's just like, you know, I just explained it to the lady, and she was like, oh yeah, we have got a call about that already, like, you know, we're looking into it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so it was gunshots. I was like, is that what you're saying to me, ma'am? Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, she got it under control, like we're not gonna hear it no more. Me and my cousin, we go down to the basement because we definitely did hear it. And so we're in the basement, and like, you guys, it seems like every single time, sorry with the pen, my bad, every single time we hear the shots, they're closer than where they were before. And so at this point, we're like freaking out. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. Like, I already called the police and everything. And y'all, when I tell y'all we were in the basement and it sounded like they were literally outside of our basement back door, which was locked, thank God. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? So we like locked ourselves in a room that was in the basement, because we were terrified. But the gunshots sounded, so when I tell y'all, they sounded super, super close. They sounded like really close, like they was like right outside, like in my backyard. It was kind of creepy. And so my cousin started freaking out. Like, I mean, when I say he was freaking out, I mean like this man started, I don't want to die, Naimah, da, da, da. And I'm like, well, I don't either, but like, I can't handle this anxiety right now. I was trying to think of every adult in my life that was possibly not busy that was nearby, okay? And my mom, I tried calling her, no answer. I tried calling his mom, no answer. I tried calling a lot of people, nobody really answered. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we supposed to do? Because, like, I don't know what to do in this scenario. We already called the police. Like, they sound really close and everything. And so finally they stopped, right? And so I look at my cousin and I'm like, maybe we should go back upstairs so that way, like, we could see what's going on. Because, like, right now we're in a basement and we're in a room with no windows. So, like, we don't know what's going on outside. And he's like, you're right. I was like, okay, so here's the plan. We're going to open the door and we're going to run up the stairs all the way into my mom's room. And that's exactly what we did. So we ran all the way upstairs, which was like a good 2 flights. And we locked ourselves in my mom's room and we barricaded the door because we were just that paranoid. Like, the house was kind of big, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. So, like, if there was somebody in the house, like, we had reason to barricade the door, okay? So we barricaded the door. We put a bunch of stuff up against the door, and he ended up falling asleep. And I was like staying up on guard. I had my phone in my hand, had a little bat thing in my hand just in case. And I remember I was watching Hey Arnold. because that night I found out Heroin was actually a really good show. Anyways, that's the point. I was in there and I was just like terrified, and finally I hear the alarm chime let me know that my mom was home, and I was like, my mom's home. So I go downstairs and I'm like, Mom, and she's like, hey, and I'm like, well, it was horrible, like this. So I explained to her what happened. She's like, oh, well, you know, 4th of July is coming up. I was like, Mom, I know, but it's nowhere near 4th of July. And it was just a very weird experience. To this day, we never figured out if they were gunshots or not. I honestly, I'm not gonna say that they were, but I'm not gonna say that they weren't either, because like, but how close they sounded, they were fireworks. We definitely wouldn't have been able to see them out like the windows. You know how houses have those windows like at the top? Like, we would have been able to see them out those windows. I didn't see nothing, okay? And then two, like, I just found it weird that somebody had already called the police and reported it, because obviously like that meant maybe, like, I don't know, but we don't really know what happened to this day. I did also think that maybe, like, what if, like, when it sounded like they got closer, it was just the police and they were like knocking on the door, and like we was just so freaked out that we just didn't answer. I was like, that possibly could have been it too, but at the same time, to this day, don't know what happened, don't really care to know at this point. But yeah, that was like the last scary moment that I had. So that's pretty much it for all of my top 3 scariest moment story times. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like my little mini story times compilation things, let me know and I'll do more. Give me a topic and I'll see if I can come up with like some stories that fit into that category, because I find it easier to do like my category that way. But yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good time.